This episode from Driving with Gloves is about the most popular transporter invented by a Dutch guy.
Hi, my name is Cor, and welcome to my channel, Driving with Gloves. I always drive with car gloves. Your question might be, why do I drive with gloves? And my answer is, why not?
The Dutch businessman Ben Pon visited 1 year after the end of World War II the Volkswagen factory in Wolfsburg in Germany. It was the year 1946 when he intended to purchase Type 1s, nowadays known as the Beetle, and something else caught his eyes. He saw an improvised parts mover called Plattenwagen, based on the Type 1. Then the idea for the Type 2 was born. He first sketched the van in a doodle dated April 1947, proposing an overall load of 750 kilograms and placing the driver at the very front. Production would have to wait, however, because the factory was at capacity producing Type 1. Ben Pon became not only the importer for Volkswagen in the Netherlands in 1947, he became also the importer for Porsche in 1948. Did I just saw Magnum driving by? Hi Tom, how are you doing?
Hey George.
Well, this is not Tom Selleck and I am not George Clooney, but this is my friend Tiz. Tiz is the owner of this wonderful Volkswagen Bulli, as the Type 2 T2 is also called. Bulli stands for Bus Lieferwagen, or in English, Bus Transporter.
Yes.
Tiz has an excellent body and paint shop in Cademario in the south of Switzerland. His shop is called Carrozzeria Brenni. His shop is on top of a mountain in a beautiful surrounding, and absolutely every road in direction to his shop is worth driving. But that you will see, of course, when I'm driving the bus. Tiz offered me to use his Bulli from 1975 for this episode from Driving with Gloves. And look what a beauty it is. And now let's get in the bus and drive. And look what a nice pair of gloves is waiting for me. The first VW bus was launched at the Geneva Motor Show in 1949. As I told you before, Volkswagen did not start with the production of the Type 2 T1 until 1950. There were different reasons for this delay. First, the production of the Type 1 went simply too well. Second, the Type 29 prototype was based on the Type 1 platform. But this platform was simply not good enough for the Type 2. Every corner turned out to be an adventure. And it still is an adventure. A new developed unibody helped to launch the T1 in spring 1950, and this was the start of the success of the Bulli, because the competitors had no chance against Volkswagen.
The T1 was amazing. It had a loading space of 5 square meters and it could even transport up to 8 people, or you could transport everything you want. You had a double door on the side and there was even a door in the rear.
Typical for the T1 is the split windscreen, which this T2 model doesn't have.
It had a 25 PS air-cooled flat-4 engine in the rear of the car. And then you had the Samba model, which doesn't look exactly like these gorgeous ladies, but like this.
The so-called Samba had even 25 windows, so that was one window for each horse. You find this rear position of the engine nowadays only in sports cars like the Porsche 911, but this is a transporter.
It was said that it had a top speed of 100 km an hour, but in reality it was only 80.
In 1967, the second generation, the Type 2 T2, came on the market, and I'm the lucky bastard who is driving that one today. And this turned out to be the hippie bus. This bus was built in Germany from 1967 until 1979, but in other countries way longer. In Brazil, even until the end of 2013.
The second generation Type 2 lost its distinctive split front windshield and was slightly larger and considerably heavier than its predecessor. Its common nicknames in English are bread loaf and bay window, or loaf and bay for short. The T2 was heavier than the T1, but it had way more power. At first the power increased from 25 to 47 PS, and after 1971 it even got 50 PS, because it got a new 1.6 liter engine with dual intake ports on each cylinder head. An important change came with introduction of front disc brakes and new road wheels with brake ventilation holes and flatter hubcaps. 1972's most prominent change was a bigger engine compartment to fit the larger 1.7 liter engines from the Volkswagen Type 4.
In 1974, the Type 4 engine was enlarged to 1.8 liters and 68 PS. The one I'm driving today is a Bulli from 1975 with a 1.6 liter engine, which produces 50 PS. The T2 had some model changes.
For the 1973 model year, exterior revisions included relocated front turn indicators above the headlights. Also, square profiled bumpers were introduced in 1973. Crash safety improved with this change because of a compressible structure behind the front bumper. T2B was capable of meeting US safety standards for passenger cars of that time, though not required for vans. The VW emblem on the front became slightly smaller, but you can't see that on this one. Later model changes were primarily mechanical.
It was big enough to live in, allowing many to travel comfortably, and was used for long
distance traveling, such as to music festivals, traveling across the country, and to attend anti-war protests. Westphalia was the company who came already in 1951 with the camping box, which made from the transporter a camper van, but could be used on a daily basis as a transporter. The result was such a success that the camping box soon went into production, and the converted VW Bulli became the dream car of the 1950s because it was multifunctional and could be used as a hotel on wheels. And the VW California is still based on that concept from 1950s. Brazil contained the last factory in the world that produced the T2 series of the Type 2, which ceased production on the 31st of December 2013 due to the introduction of more stringent safety regulations in the country. And I want to thank once again Tiz for lending me this wonderful restored Bulli from 1975. Do not forget that he has an excellent body and paint shop in Cademario in Switzerland. And as always, please subscribe to my YouTube channel Driving with Gloves and like this video. And I hope to see you again in a new episode from Driving with Gloves. And perhaps it might be an idea if I grow a moustache. And perhaps would test a Ferrari 308 GTS in the future. If you like the idea, please follow me.